Mind the gap. That's what I remember hearing when I took the tube in London, England. I was over there at global headquarters for Shell for some global meetings in my career in Shell. And I've been there a couple other times on private business. And if you've ever been to London, you've heard that famous phrase. You see posters about it, a number of things. Mind the gap. As far as the London transit system is concerned, it means that there's a gap between the platform and the train. And if you don't mind the gap, your foot might slip through it and sprain it, break it. Do a number of bad things in terms of results that you don't want. And so it's important to mind that particular gap. As leaders and supervisors, I'm going to shout those same words at you. Mind the gap. And we're going to talk about how to mind it and how not to mind it, and a common pitfall that I call sink or swim. And you've heard that phrase a lot. That is a dangerous way to mind the gap between what we know is knowledge of what needs to be done to get results and actually getting those results. So let me explain. Here's how I think we mind the gap for so many leaders and supervisors today, and I've been guilty of it. And it comes from our uncommon sense. You hear me talking about that a lot. Because many of you in your roles have been left to sink or swim, or at least you feel that way. You were dropped into a role, you don't feel you got significant training, you didn't have a lot of community of support around you, and you were expected to provide results, and you did to some level. That sink or swim that we were put into becomes a badge of honor. And it becomes how we judge the people that come under us. There's a little bit of this, and it applies to a whole bunch of things in this world. Because I did, you will too. It's not a great way to mind the gap between knowledge and results. Because when you do sink or swim, you're relying on two things to get results. And sometimes they will. Kudos. It doesn't mean it's doomed for failure. Sometimes they will. But here are two things that you're relying on. Their past experience. And so in the oil and gas sector, we hired people with oil and gas experience in the past. But here's the fallacy. Just because they have oil and gas experience doesn't mean they have experience in your exact processes. And that assumption can be dangerous. It can be okay, but it can be dangerous. And the second thing that we're assuming is that they have the self-motivation, self-discipline, self-drive to work through the struggles that comes with sinking or swimming, to work with the uncertainty that comes with sinking or swimming, and the stress that comes with sinking or swimming to succeed. And you know what? Those people that have self-motivation, self-drive, self-discipline, that's really cool. That's an awesome thing. And certainly those that have it should be rewarded for it. But here's my scoop. If that's your test of goodness, greatness, of what you're going to reward, you're going to reward some good people that survive in that sink or swim just like you did, but you're going to doom to failure a lot of people who could otherwise have succeeded for you. You're going to doom to failure some people that otherwise could have succeeded for you. Because what we forget is, yes, self-discipline is important. Yes, self-motivation is important. Yes, their past experience is important. But the environment that we create as a leader has a large part in creating those in people. Where they don't have it in and of themselves, the environment that we create as leaders can drive discipline. Can I tell you, my wife's way more disciplined than I am. I need an environment of support and accountability that drives the discipline to do the right things in my life that I know I need to do. And if I don't have it, I'm in trouble. And it's not because I don't have potential. It's not because I don't have great intentions. That's just plain fact. We are the product of the environment that we come from. So as leaders, supervisors, managers, can I encourage you to mind the gap between knowledge and results? It's not sink or swim. It's actually coaching. And it doesn't mean you spoon feed them. Can I just counteract one misconception of coaching? It doesn't mean that you handhold them and you show them exactly what to do. Coaching is actually a supportive environment, yes, but it's one that creates an atmosphere of self-discovery in a place where there's low risk and in ways that they're going to remember it because their learnings are their own. They're not alone. They're in a community. They have that support and accountability that will help drive them through some of their natural weaknesses, some of their natural fears, to the potential that they actually do have for you. On April 25th in Jasper, Alberta, we're doing a coaching workshop. Minding the gap between knowledge and results is coaching. And that's what we're going to talk about. An intensive one-day workshop in Jasper, jaspercalc.ca, jaspercalc.ca, or you can call me to register, 403-874-1044. We're going to talk about the tools, the strategies to mind the gap properly so that, yes, you're going to reward and love the people that of themselves have the discipline and motivation to walk through a lot of the things they're going to need to in situations where they're by themselves. But you're also going to nurture and bring out the capacity of people who are just human like you and I and need that coaching support to see their potential. But if they get it, you're going to love what you see from them. April 25th, Jasper, Alberta. Beautiful place. To attend a workshop. Bring your team. Let's have a great day of starting to equip people to move your teams to the results that you're looking for. See you then.